Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a way of thinking that's over 2,000 years old, but it all started with one person trying to answer a question. A question that, let's be honest, we've all asked ourselves.
And that's the question right there. Why is life sometimes so hard? Why do we feel dissatisfied, even when things are going okay? Is there a way to find a real, lasting sense of peace?
Well, you are definitely not the first person to wonder about this. This whole quest began with a prince who, on the surface, had absolutely everything you could ever want, but he knew something just wasn't right. So, this brings us to the founder, a man named Siddhartha Gautama. His story, his personal journey from a life of luxury to one of profound insight is literally the foundation for everything we're about to talk about. So imagine this. You're born a prince, completely protected from anything bad. But then, at age 29, you walk away from it all. You leave the palace to face life, warts and all. That's what Siddhartha did. And after 6 long years of searching, he finally found his answer. And he became the Buddha, which, by the way, just means the awakened one. So what was this earth-shattering discovery? Well, he laid out his core teachings in this really brilliant, logical way called the Four Noble Truths. Honestly, you can think of it like a doctor's appointment. First, what's wrong? Second, what's causing it? Third, is there a cure? And finally, what's the prescription?
The Buddha's logic here is just so clear and direct. 1. Acknowledge the problem. 2. Figure out why it's happening. 3. Realize that if it has a cause, you can make it stop. And 4. Here's exactly how you do it. Simple, right?
Okay, first up, dukkha. Now this isn't just about big, tragic pain. It's also that subtle background noise of dissatisfaction, that feeling that things just aren't quite right. From getting stuck in traffic to dealing with a serious loss, Buddhism says this feeling is a basic part of being human.
So what's causing all this dissatisfaction? The Buddha pointed right back at us, at our own minds. The cause is craving, this constant wanting. It's being attached to how we think things should be, and it's all fueled by a basic misunderstanding of how things really are. Now for the great news, Nirodha. This is the big, hopeful promise. Because suffering has a cause we can identify, it also has an end. We can actually achieve freedom from it by letting go of that craving and ignorance. And that state of total freedom and peace, that's called nirvana.
But how? How do you actually do that? That's where Magga, the fourth truth, comes in. The Buddha didn't just say, good luck, he gave us a map, a practical step-by-step guide called the Noble Eightfold Path.
And this path, this is the real-world instruction manual. It's not about just believing something, it's a set of skills you practice to train your mind, your words, and your actions to create a life of genuine peace. The path is broken down into 3 big categories: wisdom, how you see the world; ethical conduct, how you act in it; and mental discipline, how you train your mind. And here's the crucial part. You don't do these in order, like a checklist. You work on all of them together, because they all support each other. So, wisdom starts with right understanding, really getting those 4 noble truths deep down. Then comes right thought. This is all about actively choosing what goes on in your head, shifting away from angry or greedy thoughts and toward thoughts of kindness and generosity. Next up, ethical conduct. This is about how you show up in the world. Are your words healing or are they hurtful? Are your actions honest? And is the way you make a living contributing something positive, or is it causing harm? And finally, we have mental discipline. This is the gym for your mind. Right effort is like being a good gardener, pulling out the weeds of negativity and watering the flowers of positivity. Right mindfulness is just paying attention, being here, now. And right concentration is about building a strong, focused mind, usually through practices like meditation. Now, a really important point about this whole path is that it's called the middle way. See, Siddhartha had tried living a life of extreme luxury as a prince, and he'd also tried a life of extreme self-denial as an ascetic. He found that neither worked, so this path is all about finding a healthy, balanced approach to life that avoids those 2 extremes. Okay, to really get the full picture, there are 2 more key ideas we need to touch on. They kind of explain the mechanics of how this journey works and what the ultimate destination looks like. First is karma. Now, let's be clear. This is not about some cosmic scorecard or fate. It's much simpler. It's the law of cause and effect. Your intentional actions have results. If you act with kindness, you plant the seeds for happiness. If you act with cruelty, you plant the seeds for suffering. It's that simple. And the ultimate goal of all this work? Nirvana. Again, this isn't some heaven you go to when you die. It's a state of mind you can achieve right here, in this life. It's what happens when you extinguish the fires of greed, hatred, and confusion. It's a profound, indescribable peace.
What's so amazing is that these ideas, born from one man's quest in ancient India, have traveled all over the world and are still incredibly relevant today.
And as Buddhism spread, it adapted. You have the Theravada tradition, which sticks very closely to the original teachings. Then there's the Mahayana tradition, which really emphasizes compassion for all beings. And you also have Vajrayana Buddhism, famous for its powerful techniques designed to speed up the path to enlightenment. And its appeal is just undeniable. Today, more than 500 million people around the globe identify as Buddhists. But you know, its influence goes way, way beyond just its followers.
Think about it. Have you heard about mindfulness? Mindfulness-based stress reduction? So many of these ideas have been adopted by modern psychology and wellness practices because these ancient insights into the human mind are just so powerful and, well, they work.
And that brings us right back to this very moment, back to you. This whole journey, this entire path, it doesn't start with some grand gesture. It starts with one small intentional choice. So my question for you is, what's one right effort? One small, positive thing you could do today to bring just a little more peace into your life and maybe into the world around you. That's where it all begins.